Welcome to NotWorking Unfiltered. This is the place where we have conversations that some people like talking about it, others don't, but they don't really have our point of view or our intake on it,
That's
right?
right.
So I am your host, Leslie, and this is,
Jordan,
there we go. All right. So what are
also
we going
your
to talk about
host.
today? We're going to talk a little quick recap of MLP Orlando. We were there on Saturday and it was
It was a long
fantastic.
day.
It was a very
fun,
long
but it was a
day,
long
but it
day.
was a really good day.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we found out that this is the first MLP weekend that MLP reached 2,500 people viewing
Attendance
it
on Saturday.
on Saturday. That was only on Saturday, guys.
Yeah.
That was the day before Championship Sunday. We got to see some really good games. We got to see the Fives. We got to see
St. Louis Shock.
St. Louis Shock. We got to see the
LA
Mad Drops.
Yeah.
Now, we did get to see the game between, the two GOATs of the game, Annalie Waters and Ben Johns.
Yeah, that was
right?
fun.
Now, I think the MVP of that game was Noah Cliff.
Yeah.
Because that man played his ass off in that game, I believe, and was able to hold off Ben Johns, who was almost playing by himself.
I mean, for the most part, because I feel like Noe kind of felt like he had to prove himself, right? He had to perform because, again, he's playing with Annalie. He's playing against Ben Johns. Normally they play together. And so he's like, oh, I need to kind of prove myself in this moment. She's doing what she can do. Ben knows how she plays. So I need to kind of perform a little bit better or a little bit differently, maybe, so he doesn't fully anticipate what I'm going to do. Ben Johns' partner was one of the Kawamoto sisters, right?
I can't remember if
she didn't get much
Jackie
time in
or
there.
the other one, but I just know it was one of the twins.
Yeah, I mean, she had some good moments, but I think it was really the focus was on Ben and Annalie, and then Noe came into that because of how he played in the last few points, especially.
I thought it was a really good game, but the game. Now let's talk about the Shock. The Shock, outside of their very last game when they played in championship, they were just killing everybody, right? They came out. The two girls, Anna Bright and Kate Fahey, were just dominating.
Yeah.
They were just like mad at the world. I don't know what it was, but they always play
she's
like
always
this.
mad at the world, when she plays.
But they're so aggressive and they don't want to lose. And they didn't do that at all. They didn't disappoint. I was a little surprised seeing Hayden and Gabe. They play like they're just joking around. Like they know they're good. So if they're playing good competition, they raise their level. But when they're playing somebody that I think they know they can beat, they kind of lower it.
Well, who was it that they played that they then started losing?
It was Brooklyn. If I'm not, it was Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Which I figured they would actually step up
but
their game there, but they didn't. They actually brought it down and that kind of stuff. Type deal.
Well, they did have to step up their game in the end because they almost lost.
Correct. But there was one game that really stood out of the whole weekend, and it was on Saturday. It had to do with a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Elsie Hendershot.
That is
her last, right?
Hendershot. Yeah.
Yeah. She played. It was basically the Chicago Slice against the California Black Bears.
Yeah.
Right? The whole weekend, the Chicago Slice needed to win in order to make the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this game comes down to the DreamBreaker.
The DreamBreaker, yes.
Right? And you had just joked about that you had not seen a DreamBreaker
because we hadn't seen one all day.
Like the whole Saturday, we didn't see one, and you're like, man, we haven't seen a DreamBreaker yet.
And then they ended up winning the game 4. And then all of a sudden,
boom, DreamBreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What happens? Do you remember what happened in the DreamBreaker? What happened with Elsie?
Well, in her first 4 points, she only got 1. In her second 4 points, she got 0. So it was down to the girl before her, who would normally make all of the points, or at least like 3 out of 4, didn't. So then it came down to I think they needed 1 point or 2 points.
They needed 1 point to tie it.
Right. And Elsie hadn't in her previous 8 points had only gotten 1 out of 8 off of this girl. So we were, I mean, it was looking very, very slim. Like we were like, okay, well that's it. Like LA is going to win. But she got 1 point, and then the girl messed up in the net, I believe, and so then she got the ball back because I think it was game point at this point. So they kept on tying, and then she got 1, and then the girl hit the net, I believe, and then she got, or it was maybe it was the game point that she hit the net. But either way, I mean, she put it all out there. She got the
So
points.
Jordan just, because she was extremely excited, I analyzed the game. So at one point, California was up, I believe, by like 8 points. Correct? And then all of a sudden, the guys started making a comeback. 1 point after the other. You know, their captain gets 3 points out of a rally. Then the next guy, which I can't remember his name either, skinny white kid, gets another 3 points out of 4. Then all of a sudden, they're up by 1. Then we come down to the second to last. We're like, okay, if they're able to close it out, we're good. Nope. California Bears starts taking over, and here comes Elsie, who really had played, I don't want to say really bad, but 1 out of 8 possible points is bad.
I mean, yeah, she's not a singles player.
The pressure, it's do or go home. If you win, you're in the playoffs. If you lose, you cost your team the win. You're 13 years old.
If they won, their playoff chances were still alive. They still had to play the next day, but to win,
you know, but this is the thing. It's 13 years old, all that pressure. You didn't do well beginning, and then all of a sudden you come back and you win the game.
Mm-hmm.
You rocked it. You changed the whole thing of them. It's like being there live and seeing that happen. It was one of the coolest moments. Like the whole arena just erupted.
Yeah.
You know, you had the shock team who was in a corner yelling for her. You had the New Jersey Fives. They were yelling for Elsie. I mean, everybody was extremely happy for her for what she did to win that game.
Yeah.
To me, that was amazing how she handled that pressure, which brings to point, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't normally see that. What is it that we normally see? We see normally that nobody really likes to lose, but losing sometimes is what teaches you more than, I believe, winning is what makes you stronger. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about, are we raising a soft generation because they're not learning how to lose? You know, uh, you know, where are we teaching this generation resilience? You don't see what Elsie did a lot today. Do we?
In sports? No.
In anything.
Yeah.
Sports, business. We've met business owners that give up on things, correct?
Yeah.
We've met business owners. I mean, winning and losing is not just in sports, it's in life, in business, in school, in sports is what people translate to the easiest, you know?
Yeah.
So let's get right to it. Jordan, do you feel that winning teaches more than losing?
No, I agree with you that I feel like losing teaches you more than winning. It just teaches you how to kind of reevaluate and to come back stronger, or to fix your mistakes, or to change your thought process. I mean, yeah, you can lose and you can be down for a minute or whatever. Like it sucks to lose, no doubt, but how do you come back from that? Do you stay down, or do you do what it takes to come back up,
Correct.
to come back stronger?
I got it. Now, do you think losing is going to help you build confidence in today's? Let's use you first. Losing, does that help you build confidence, or does it destroy your confidence when you lose?
I mean, it can hurt the confidence a little bit when it first happens, but that's why as long as you are learning and growing from it to then come back to then not lose
Yeah.
later on, or to maybe get the smaller wins that can lead to the bigger wins, etc. The thing is, if you go into life thinking that you're always going to win everything, you're going to be really sadly mistaken and you're going to be let down a lot.
Huh? There's people that win all the time.
No, they don't.
Charlie Sheen said winning. He was drunk or high. I
Oh,
don't know what he was, but
exactly.
he was like, he said he's always winning.
Mhm.
Um, but the way I see losing is one of those things that teaches you in life if you're getting better. It gauges where you're at. Like when I play pickleball, right? Or when I play any sport, even when the kids were younger and I used to play with them. Let's use now pickleball,
Mhm.
right? When I go play pickleball, when I'm playing with somebody that I've never played with, right? I try to see, okay, what level am I at compared to them? Or somebody tells me, oh yeah, they're a 4.5, 4.0, 4.0, 4.5. And I'm like, all right, technically my duper is not that, but let me see where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, if I lose 11-9 to that individual, I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I did lose, but I also learned that I'm like, okay, I'm not that far behind.
Mhm.
Now if I lose 11-0 or 11-1, or I score less than 3 points normally, then I would be like, oh, damn, I got
They
to
did
step up my game
something,
because I'm
yeah.
not in this level at all.
Yeah.
Like we all make mistakes, we all wins and losses, but my loss also gives me a gauge depending on where I'm at in that sport,
Yeah.
uh, type deal. Now, would you erase your biggest failure or your biggest loss you ever had in life? That's a tough one, huh? You got to think about biggest failure. Have you ever had the biggest failure that you think you've had in life?
Have I had my biggest failure in life so far? I mean, I can think of a couple. Um,
Would you erase any of them? And don't
you
say as a
you
kids because
can't
those aren't failures.
what I would
Just
have never said
saying.
that.
Or owning a dog.
Yeah, no, none of those are failures. No, I wouldn't erase them because then they wouldn't have helped me do the things that I needed to do to either change the failure into like a positive experience,
Yeah,
to then change my mentality to be like, okay, I need to get out of this, or I need to like, okay, this didn't work out. Let me move on and try this. So, I mean, if you don't have failures, then you're not learning how to succeed. So,
true. Now, I would probably erase some failures, especially the ones that were monetary, costly to me, to us. Like when we bought that stupid ass, what was it? The name thing. That was complete stupid shit we bought. You remember that? I would erase that one 100%.
why?
All the other crazy ventures that we've done, I wouldn't erase. There's always something that I would be like, yeah, I would never do that. But uh, going through all my ups and downs in life, I wouldn't change any of those things. Uh, because I wouldn't have met you or, wouldn't have had the wonderful life I have now. But,
You had to recover from the whole
the
kids.
spending stupid money, I probably would
But how would
erase
that
or
if you
learn.
didn't? Well, that's the only way to
It's
learn,
probably
though.
because I didn't know about that kind of stuff when I was at a young age. I never had those conversations. Like, hey, you should do this. Or it was just only told to me, hey, you have to do this instead of telling me why. I'm a why
Hmm.
kind of person. I'm like a person tells me you got to do this. I'm like,
But
why?
even if people tell you
Explain it to me.
why, if you don't agree with that why, or if it doesn't make enough sense to you, you're still going to do what you want, and then you're
Well,
still going to figure it
correct.
out.
Because a lot of the things
That's the thing,
don't pertain to me. So it's like,
right?
okay,
Because everybody's life and everybody's the things that they've been through is different. So your experience is going to be different than somebody else's experience with the same thing,
all right,
with money issues, with sports, with relationships, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to
true.
be different because everybody thinks differently.
So, well, maybe the issue isn't just losing, is maybe how do we react to losing? How we're
Absolutely.
taking that. Now, I have a question. You remember I was a coach back in the day,
Hmm.
way back.
Well, even before I met you, you had coached
You know,
soccer. Yeah.
in today's society, do you feel that parents should interfere or get in the way of coaches, referees, heck, even teachers, when a child's not getting the good grade, should the parents get in that chit chat with that adult at all times and say, no, my kid is, you know what I mean? We hear the horror stories from my sister about parents when come to her like, oh, why is my kid failing? Well, he's not doing his work. Well, what does he need to do? I was like, well, he should have turned it in 6 months ago. I can't do nothing now. You know what I mean? Rena has told us these kind of things.
Yeah. So if you're
And
not going to be proactive in figuring that stuff out, then you really have no basis to complain to the teacher, to the coach, etc. If you're not asking questions in the beginning and then it takes 6 months, like you're whatever. I mean, definitely think they should communicate with them, but as far as just basically being like, my kid is the best, my kid is this, why are you not putting them in? Why are they not getting good grade? Why are they only failing your class? Oh, you don't like them. Really? Children lie.
I'll give you $10 for every goal you score. God, I hated that one.
Yeah. Was it $10? I felt like it was so much more than that. Maybe it was only $10 for every goal. But then that kid got sat on the bench and didn't get to play. But not because of that. Not because of that.
It was other
because you can't punish the child. You can't punish the child for something that the parent says until that child then
only wants to do that.
Right. Until that child then doesn't become a team player and is not listening when he's being told what to do or what not to do. And then he's just playing his own game because all he wants to do is score goals to make money. Then that's when you get benched.
Yeah.
Because, okay, cool. That's, you can still play the game. And then if you score a goal, you make money. Cool. Great. That should be.
Yeah. That kid, I benched him because he didn't want to pass the ball. He said, well, I'm the best player. I said, what are you doing? Pass the ball. So I'm the best player. I was like, man, go sit your ass down.
Yeah. Or you show up late and you expect to still start. No.
Playing well. I think we won.
You don't go to practice. You show up late for games. Then you still don't play as a teammate and you do whatever you want. Nah, you can sit on the bench.
Now that we're talking about these kids, this is a I don't know if it's like a thorn in my ass. I don't know what the name of it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Participation trophies.
Yeah, I don't
do
really
you
like those,
think kids should receive a participation trophy
for coming in like last place? No.
Participating, just for participating. No. So there's I think they should, and
you could do like a pizza party at the end or whatever, but do you get a trophy like the winners get? No. Do you get a medal like the winners get? No.
And that's what I mean. I understand maybe getting a ribbon that you participated on the event,
right? But like
or
the end
whatever,
of the season or something.
But it should
not for
never
each
be
game.
the same as whoever wins gets second or third.
Mm-hmm.
Because in life, it's like
congratulations,
a bonus
you did your
structure.
job, or congratulations, you did the bare minimum and participated. Like,
yeah. Now, and that's what I mean. I mean, I think they should get a participation. That way, it keeps encouraging them to
like
play.
Acknowledgement for participating, or be like, hey, great, great try this year.
Or something.
Right, like a certificate of completion. Like, yeah, you made it through the season, or hey, you did a great job at this, or whatever. Like acknowledgement of like something that they did good, that's great. But to give them a medal or a trophy or whatever, like the winners would get, absolutely not. They didn't win.
Correct.
There's a difference between acknowledging their participation and giving them something to make them think that they won something. You didn't win anything.
Yeah,
you didn't earn that.
I think that's the line where I don't know if it's parents, coaches, whoever it is.
I think it started with the parents.
They're lowering there's a line between
the expectation or the
lowering the standards and giving encouragement.
Yeah.
There's a line there.
I think it started with the parents, to be honest.
And I learned it when I coached in one league that was not, it was a competitive league, but it wasn't competitive. So it was kind of weird because what parents don't understand, kids keep score.
Mm-hmm.
I coached in a league where it wasn't competitive and the kids are like, what's the score? I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's not about wins and losses. It's like, well, what's the score?
There's no point to play games without, I mean, in some game, no. In all games, there's a winner and there's a loser. So like kids don't play sports. You don't put your kids in a sport and then have them playing games to not see how are you gonna see where they're at, like, especially if they want to maybe continue in the sport. Oh, well,
Yeah.
they stood in the goal and picked frickin' dandelions the whole time instead of trying to, like, save goals. Yeah, let's put them in competitive soccer. Yeah, okay, no.
There's a winner and a loser in solitaire.
Exactly.
So that's all I'm saying.
I either won or the hand won, like
Or the damn cards won. I'm
exactly.
like,
There's
damn it.
always somebody that's gonna win, there's always somebody that's gonna lose. Now, how you celebrate those or commend those or even how you approach the losers in that situation is,
You always want to encourage them and give
like,
them
"Hey, guys,
pointers
we
that
didn't
they
win
did well. But at the
today,
same
but we
time,
played well as a team, and we did score some points, and blah, 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 blah." You always have to think of the positive things of that loss even, or
yeah,
else it's just like, "Dang, you guys suck. Like,
yeah,
see you next week for practice." Yeah, no, that's shitty. Like, who wants to come back to that?
yeah. Now I'm glad you're hitting that point because every child becomes an adult,
Yeah.
right? And like you said, uh, being encouraging and lowering standards will affect them when they're adults.
Mhm.
I see it in today's society when a person cannot count change. I'm like, damn it, it's giving you how much it is, but you don't know how to count change. I'm like, I get it. That we lower that standard, that we're not teaching that when a person doesn't know how to sign their name. I guess not in a check. Now electronic signatures, you got to pick which one you like, whatever. But there are some contracts that you have to do a signature that is not electronic.
Yeah.
So we've lowered the standard to a lot of things. So
We're
it's not
bringing
just
cursive
sports,
back
it's
into the schools. They had taken it out for a long time, which
correct.
why? Why would you take that out? What are you replacing that with? I'll have to look into that, like, to see what they
Yeah.
replaced that with. Now they're putting it back in, but I'm like, "Okay,
I'm like,
wow,
why'd you
that
ever
doesn't make
take it out?
sense."
Because
Exactly.
it made no sense. But now you're like, really, you don't know how to sign? You can't have
What
a
happens
signature like that.
when the internet and the whole everything crashes? Like, something
Yep.
like that will happen. How
So
how are you gonna know how to add and subtract on paper versus
two
on a
plus two,
computer or a calendar or
they go
multiply
through a
or
whole
whatever?
little
And
writing
there's
thing.
these different systems, like, we were taught math a different way. Our kids were taught math a different way than that. Like, how is division and multiplication, uh, like, the way that they
How do
did it?
numbers
I
change?
don't understand.
Yeah, makes
Like,
it hard. I'm like, okay. But listen, what do you think is gonna happen when one of these kids gets a no for the first time as an adult?
yeah, I mean, it's gonna depend on how they were told no or how they reacted to
Oh, I have a story for this one.
oh god, how they reacted to a negative experience or a non-winning experience,
Yeah.
et cetera, et
So
cetera.
so this is what how people react. And this is funny because I was a supervisor, I was an office manager, et cetera, et cetera. So people ask for raises, right?
Yeah,
This is the the story of all time. People expect raises every year. So
that ain't gonna
I
happen.
always ask this: what have you done outside of your job that deserves a raise? Okay,
Outside of the bare
you came
minimum.
in on time. You were supposed to come in at 8 a.m., leave at 3. Okay, you come in every day at 8 a.m., you left every day at 3 p.m. Okay, you're supposed to make phone calls, you're supposed to answer emails. Okay, you did those. You're supposed to do XYZ that you're supposed to do on your job. You did XYZ. When we ask you, hey, you think you come in and cover for this person a paid shift, you say, no, I
Obviously.
can't. When we say, hey, can you help out on this event? No, I can't. A paid event.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to
I've been here for a
raises,
year
hey,
now.
I've been here
Where's
a
my
year.
raise?
I'm like, what the hell does that mean to me? Just because,
Congratulations. You want a
and
cookie?
it's like we went to participations. Is like just because you're running a races and you're able to finish the race, you didn't win the race. Somebody else did better than you. They're getting a raise. You're not.
Mhm.
So when somebody asked me for a raise and I said, well, you're not getting one, they quit. Is that to
That's a
me,
word
I'm
for it.
like,
Yeah, they
"Damn,
definitely quit.
really?"
Mhm.
I'm like, "You have a cushion job. Look at what you really have."
Mhm.
But they quit because they didn't get a raise, and I'm like, "Well, what do you expect as a raise?"
Yeah.
And then they give you a crazy ass number, and I'm like, what?"
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's like when I was in the military, you're expected to do things a certain way to be able to make rank.
Mhm.
There's a standard. There's bare minimum, and some people didn't make rank because they did bare minimum. But then there's some people that studied, passed physical exams, did this, did that to get their ranks.
Yeah.
So what the hell? So that's what happens when you tell someone no. They just quit. So it's
When that's
it's
not even just when you tell them no, when you tell them things that, like, they don't like. Like, I remember when I had this job and somebody had gotten hired to do something, and it was different than this other person's job. Like, the experience was different, et cetera, et cetera. The tasks were different, but they were mad that the person that just got hired was making more money than them. But your job is this. This is what this pays. Their job is this, and this is what this pays. So because you've been there longer than them, that doesn't mean anything. Like, okay, so you don't like that people that come in after you make more than you, but
yeah, it
it's a
is.
totally different job. That job doesn't, like, so people don't like being told no. They don't like, I think that's why employers and stuff like that tell you, like, hey, don't tell them what you're making. I know it's illegal. You're not supposed to do that, but
You find out regardless. Everybody
yeah,
finds out what people make,
but people still get
whatever.
pissy. It
How
doesn't
much they
matter
paying
what it
you?
is.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's like,
whatever.
yeah.
Now, do you think rejection is important for a person to grow
No, I think rejection is important, but there is a way there's a way to reject somebody,
or
and
something?
or something. There's a way not to do it
Why are you looking at me when you say that? I do it very
because we're
well all the
talking
time.
to each other.
I reject people very, very politely
No, you
all
don't.
the time. All the time.
You might think that, but you don't.
So all right. So because you're talking about that, let's go into this. Do you think I am biased or I'm making assumptions that I'm blaming the younger generation, the younger people? I'll
Oh,
use
no,
my
I'm not even
kids.
talking about
Like,
kids. I'm the way that not you, the way that people speak to people or the tone that people take with people has a big impact.
yeah.
So, tone itself, whether you don't mean it to be mean or whether you don't mean it to be negative, the tone that you're taking with somebody is how they're gonna perceive it,
Wow.
unfortunately.
That is because kids,
Not just
and
kids.
this is what I tell people. In today's society, people don't know how to speak to people because all they do is text.
That's
So
very
you have
true.
to put whatever tone of voice or whatever to it. You ever been fired by text? I'm sure somebody listening has been. And I
That's
think that's like the
crazy. That's the
stupidest,
most
weirdest
disrespectful thing,
crap I've ever seen that somebody gets fired through text.
and I'd be
Not even
like,
a phone call.
if I ever get fired via text, I'd be like, "I don't accept this, I need it in writing."
I'm
In
like,
writing, like in
no,
physical writing, because you can alter a text message, you can alter a text chain, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah.
No, I need official firing, please.
Now that we're talking about this stuff, what do you think has changed more? Do you think kids have changed or parenting has changed?
I mean, kids learn what they are taught, right? So, I
There you
mean,
go, parents.
parenting
We're
is
blaming
definitely
you. It's your fault, mom and dad.
that's where it
Not your
starts.
children, but it's your fault, mom and dad.
At a certain point, yes, the children are responsible for their own actions, their own decisions, and their own choices. Does parenting affect that? It does, but then at one point, it's still the child, adult's
Well,
decision.
I think
But if they don't know
parents.
any better, like, they don't know, but still, I mean, parenting can only go so far,
I
and then
just
they
think
make their own
parenting has
choice.
changed a lot more than what it used to be.
Mhm,
You know, um, I used to get spanked. Corporal punishment. That's the
mm,
correct word. I used to get spanked type deal. I didn't spank my kids. You know, uh, because I got spanked, I was like, okay, let me not spank them. Was that a good thing, bad thing? Sometimes I think it was a bad thing. Sometimes I'm like, man, I should knock you the fuck out because you're dumb. sometimes I feel that way, or they talk back or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. And I think it's because us parents, we want it better for our kids,
Mhm.
and we didn't real well, I guess I was a young parent at 25. You were a young parent too. So we were learning as we went, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, but now what I'm seeing is parents are becoming older, right?
They're becoming parents older.
Yeah, they're becoming
Mhm.
parents like in their mid 30s, and now they can't keep up with these damn kids,
Yeah.
And then when we were parents, we were like, well, I don't think about this. I used
Not
to
even
grandma.
just that, but, like, the society and stuff that we live in, it's a very technological one.
Yeah.
So, when we grew up, we didn't have technology like they have it today, and I do think that is a very big factor. In kids today, kids 10 years ago, kids 20 years ago, you know, I mean, my kids are in their 20s, most of them, 2 of them.
Yeah. I
They're all adults. And, like, technology, when I was their age, was a very new thing for me.
Okay. So we both agree kind of like parenting is what is at fault as to why today's society, these kids or these young adults are not as
I think parenting
prepared.
has a big influence on children and
Now
young
the
adults
next
today,
thing
yes.
that I guess is it's not a touchy subject to me, but it's like I guess the mental health, right? The mental health, everybody you see now, professional athletes, you see professional in the business and this and that are given a priority into mental health. Now, I'll tell you a quick little story about me in the military.
Mhm.
I love military stories, but when I was in the
Recently.
military, I remember so different nowadays. I don't know if they still do it or not, but I got a new troop that came in. I was in Nebraska,
So
and
how long had you been in the military at
I
this
was
point?
already in the military probably 10 years, you know, 9, 10 years,
Mhm.
right? He comes in and he's supposed to do XYZ worth of work, right? Now he's not doing it. I bring him into the office and I'm reprimanding him.
Mhm.
I'm not yelling because when I'm really pissed, I don't really yell too much,
Yeah, you don't
you
say
know?
anything.
Huh?
You don't say anything.
Correct. I back away
You
and it's
ignore
like,
them.
okay, I do. But I had to tell him, hey, you're messing up, you're doing this, A, B, C, and D. And then, I had to kind of like put pressure on him. This wonderful human being told me, hey, can I get an emotional timeout? I'm like, what the hell is that?
I've never heard of that. That's
I
crazy.
was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they still do it in basic training or not. They
Mm.
call it a stress timeout. You give your military training instructor a card and you say that you're stressed out and you're able to take a 5-minute stress timeout. Now, here's my mentality. Iraqi freedom was at that time. All I kept thinking, I was like, if I'm at war and somebody's shooting at me, that's stressful as shit. Back and forth.
Time out.
Time out. Stop shooting. Here's my little card. Let me relax, please. What the? Sorry, I'm cussing a lot right now, but this one I was like, this is like the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
I mean, in
So I
certain
get some
situations,
careers,
it's just
in some
not.
situations,
Yeah.
you got to take time off and do this. But when you're at work, work is, it's like you're running a marathon or a half marathon, and all of a sudden you tell everybody, time out, guys. My legs are falling asleep. My body doesn't want to continue anymore. I'm stressed out. Can we please stop for a second before I can continue going?
I mean, yeah, if you're looking to win, then yeah, your timeout is not
So
or
I don't
it's not
understand that.
important.
Now, I do get people do get stressed out, that get overwhelmed, and you need time off. So
Yeah.
I'm all for vacation.
Mhm.
Believe me, military taught me something. Take your 30 days vacation. You
Every
know,
year.
I love vacation. I would take every 3 months, I was taking a week off. That's why I love, heck, we do it.
Yeah.
And we work from home and stuff like, and we're like, all right, I need to go take a vacation. That's my reset.
Mhm.
That is my okay. But when shit hits the fan and you say time out, I'm like, so some people utilize that
Like, it's
mental
like a
health
right place,
in
right
the,
time kinda
eh,
thing.
I'm like, like we had an employee that, well, I don't remember if you were employed with me back then, but I had somebody that was going through a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, but they wanted to work because they needed the money, they needed this. I had to step in and say, listen, go take care of your stuff. Once you're done, take a week, 2 weeks off. Once you're done, come here because this is affecting your job.
Yeah, because it's
So
either
I
this or you're gonna end up
understand
getting
about the
fired.
mental health part of it, but I
But those
think
little
some
breaks that you're
people,
not taking during your workday
you
is
got to
just
utilize it the right way. You
yeah.
you can't be like, oh well, you can't yell at my son because are you telling me nobody's ever gonna yell at your kid? No, that's incorrect. I can assure you, some of his friends are yelling at him.
Yeah.
Some of these kids know a lot more than we do. So when somebody says, "Oh no, you can't say that to my child. His mental is gonna hurt." I'm like, really? It's not really gonna hurt. I'm like, they'll be fine. They'll understand
Well, I think that
later in
depends on what you're
life.
saying. If you're telling them something to like, that's productive or that is something that they need to hear. Like, if you're just gonna be like, "Yeah, dude, you're an idiot." Like, that is not, something helpful. That's not something productive. But if you're gonna be like, "Hey, you messed up this assignment, or you messed up this job, or you did whatever, this is what you need to do to fix it, or I'm writing you up because of this." Like, okay, it's something that they did wrong
Yeah.
or something that they need to work on or whatever, but, you know,
Now,
there's a there's a way to do it and not to do it.
do you think you can build confidence on someone without giving them any?
No, because then they're never going to understand what happens when they come to an obstacle. They're not gonna know how to get
Right.
through it or around it or over it, however you wanna say it. They're not gonna know what to do when those obstacles happen. So, small obstacles is better
Right.
than one big one that's like a roadblock and you're just like, "Okay, no, I give up." If you don't know how to navigate through them,
Yeah.
you're never gonna get anywhere.
Now it's like every time when I think about getting everything, like we grew up differently. You know that I was able to get whatever the hell I wanted to at any time I wanted to, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
Uh, because of the background. But I remember my biggest thing is this. I have to teach my kids that if I would have died today, they're able to survive.
Yeah.
You know, if at any moment a parent feels outside of a child maybe having some kind of disability, I understand
Mhm.
that fear. But if your child does not have any disability whatsoever, um, a parent has a fear, oh, I don't know if my kid's gonna be able to make it in life. I'm like, guess what?
We're talking about adult children at this
Y-
point. Yeah.
You're you're messing up. You messed up as a parent. You didn't teach them how to really survive, make right choices, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They crumbled under pressure, whatever. Whatever it is, it wasn't a kid's fault. It's like you taught him to be that way. You put him in, you told him he was always fantastic, that he could do anything, that he can do no wrong, this and that. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, why am I fired?
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm not good at what I'm doing? Um, 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 really? I'm not the best? I'm like, no, you suck.
Mhm.
That kind of stuff. So it's like, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people out there that you give them pressure and they excel when pressure is there. But other people, it's like what they say, pressure
Ooh.
bust pipes
Oh, I've never heard
or
of that.
pressure makes diamonds.
Yes.
You've heard that one?
Mhm.
Well, we in the military said pressure bust pipes.
Mm.
Pressure does bust pipes. And then all over the place. So do you think today's challenges as a parent or as a young adult, as a business owner, as whatever, the reason that they're just different than when they used to be when I was a kid, when I was a young adult, than when you were? Like the challenges.
Well, they're definitely different. I mean, the challenges that we have today are not just art. They're not as simple, I don't think, as they were back then, but we've had a lot. I mean, we've had many years to kind of adjust to the new changes in society and technology, et cetera, et cetera. So is that an excuse? No. Is it different than it was when we were younger? Absolutely. So, but we can adjust to them. It's just how you adjust to those changes,
Yeah.
how you adjust to the challenges. They're still hard and some of them still suck, and you're always gonna have setbacks. You're always gonna have, you know, crap that happens that you're gonna have to find a way to get through. Um, some people, it's easier to do than others. Some people can do it and have no problem. Others, it takes them longer to navigate through it. But I guess ultimately, the biggest thing is that you do get through it. That you're still making steps towards getting through it.
Okay. Now let's close with this, right? I'm one generation.
I'm another generation
Why you say it like that? I don't know.
because we're
And
just
then
from two different
our kids
generations.
are
Another
another
generation.
generation, right?
Yeah.
What is something that you feel this current generation gets right that we didn't get right back in the day? I think there's something that they do actually very well that we didn't do back in the day.
What is that?
They're a little bit healthier than what we were.
What?
Like, what I mean by this, okay? I don't remember if your generation did this. We had the Marlboro Man, right?
Yes.
Did
More
you ever
cigarettes you
did
bought,
you
the
ever
more
see the
stuff you
Marlboro
got.
Man? Did you ever did you ever see the Marlboro Man commercials?
Yeah.
Like, or the cool commercials and that kind
Oh,
of
you're talking
stuff?
about, like, smoking wise and stuff?
Correct. I'm talking about the smoking
But now
stuff.
they vape, so I'm like,
Correct. I get it, the vape. But what I mean by this is they're they're getting the nutritional health value. They're more foodies. They're more into the health stuff than
but
what
I think
we were back
that's
in
just
the
like a
day.
phase. I don't think
You
that
think so?
that's yeah.
But I think always that I've always thought I was like, damn, what do these kids come up with the smoothie? What those weird boba teas or whatever?
Right,
Like
yeah, that's all
they're
just a
into
phase, I
these
think.
this little more of a wanting to be more active that just sitting at a club drinking all day. At least from the ones I know.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's some that love hanging out at the damn club and drinking. That's
Yeah.
why clubs are still around. But you're seeing more of a health avenue with them, more active,
Some, but
you
then on
know?
the other side of that, because of technology and all the video games and the work from home and all that stuff, then there's another side of that that is not active and even
Uh-huh.
more
You gotta think this shit right then.
of a problem. Like, that's why I'm saying it's just like the people you hang around with, and that's what you're gonna kind of follow, so I think
Ooh,
it's
I
just
got another
different.
thing they got right. The speed of internet. They got that right.
Well, they're not the ones that came up with it, so
They didn't, but they fixed it. Okay, because you remember
you
when we
remember the
had the
dial-up?
internet. Yes. You know? Now,
Nobody in the house could use the phone,
yeah,
and there
you
was
couldn't
only
use
one
the
computer
phone,
at a
you couldn't do
time.
nothing. It was one computer only, nobody else could do anything. It's like, "You got mail." I'm like, "Oh, cool, I got mail." But I think
"Hurry up and get off, I wanna check my email.
yeah. Now now
My
that
boyfriend's
what do
calling."
you think is something our generation got right? Like, past generations? Like, I don't know anybody from the '60s and
Well, that's not our
'50s and stuff
generation,
like
so
that,
yeah, no.
but what do you think is something our generation got correct that
I think the non-social media aspect of our generation was better because it forced us to talk to people. It forced
yeah,
us to be outside. It forced us to move. Like, if you're sitting on your butt at home, you're doing it by yourself, unless you're on the phone or unless everybody else is coming to your house and sitting on their butt and doing nothing. But that's not really a thing. So I think it helped us to not be so in our
yeah,
shells. It helped us to talk to people. Now, I'm an introvert, so obviously can't say that, "Oh, yeah," but I mean, I had my friends that I like to hang out with, and we were always outside doing things, but you had to go to them. You had to know their parents. Like, nowadays, kids don't know their friends' parents.
you don't even know
They
your own
don't know
friends. I mean, you make friends with
exactly,
somebody in another state and it's like, who's that guy or girl?" I
which
don't
is
know what it
fine.
is. You're like, "Which is fine." Have you ever seen the show To Catch a Predator? That'll be a different thing, you know? But some of the things that I think my generation, '70s, '80s, not that old, guys, but
70s, because 'cause I'm in the '80s.
that generation got right, that today is still working, is our ability to, like you said, communicate outside of the technology. And we were able to learn how to communicate through technology as well.
Yeah.
So we're like the master of both type deal. We're able to carry a conversation with just about anybody about anything.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if we want to keep to ourselves, technology has taught us that we're able to keep to ourselves and give ourselves that break.
Yeah.
You know, uh, so that's the thing.
I think it's harder to do nowadays, though, to be honest.
I just think it's kind of cool how everything from our generation is coming back.
Oh, like the fashion and stuff?
Everything is coming back.
Like,
Bell bottom pants,
that's fashion.
regular pants,
Fashion.
fashion, everything. You know what? People now say they want to go network. Oh, I don't want just a business card. I want to get to know people. Yeah, but you know how to speak because all you do is text. So
Isn't that how you
now
like
we
to
got to teach
network?
people.
That's how you like to network.
I don't like networking through text. I hate
No,
texting people.
by getting to know people.
Correct, but
So I say it like that.
that's what my generation does. We love talking. We love
Yes, you
just
do.
chit chatting. We love getting to know people. I hate when somebody just gives me a business card and sells to me.
Well,
So
I
annoying.
don't agree with the whole digital business
Oh
card.
yeah,
I think it's
that's
just as bad as a regular business card.
that is.
If you didn't make an impression on me when we were face to face, I'm not going to remember your business card. I'm not going to be able to find your name in a phone if I don't remember your name from our conversation. How am
Yeah.
I? So your information's in there. Okay,
So
maybe
you
your picture's
lose.
in there, but I'm not going to scroll through my phone because obviously our conversation was not that important for
That's
me to
something that we'll
remember.
have to talk about. We'll have to bring a oh, we know that lady that does business cards to see if paper business cards are still just as good or they're not as good as digital. Because
I
I don't
mean,
know
it's
the
easier
difference.
to find one if you still have like if you've got a
A Rolodex.
yeah,
Does
which
that
now I'm
does
really
anybody know what
being
a
old.
Rolodex is?
Or like a business card holder or whatever, or hey, that's still in my purse. Hey, let me pull that person's card out or whatever
Yeah.
because I remember their business name at least. I'm not scrolling through my phone looking for business contacts
Okay.
unless I know them on a personal
Well,
level.
today we talked about failure, overcoming failure, and the pressure of failure.
Hmm.
Why you should do this kind of stuff. Now, I have a question for audience people. What is the one failure that you are grateful for grateful for that happened to you that helped you learn a valuable lesson in
What's your
I think maybe the goal is making sure that people are able to lose gracefully. You know, don't bash them on their loss. Give them pointers as to how they're able to win. And you, when you lose, acknowledge, hey, the only way I get better is by practicing, trying harder. You know what I mean?
yeah, even like a team setting, like if your team lost, you can't look at it like you can't look at it as, oh well, I did nothing wrong. It was the rest of my team that messed up. No, no, no. You work as a team. So there has to be something in there that you could have at least improved on to give your team a better chance
Yeah.
at winning. So you can't look at it as a blame game for the other people in the group or whatever. It's you have to you have to learn something from the loss.
Yeah.
Not just that it was everybody else's fault. That's not learning anything.
Correct. And remember, failure isn't the opposite of success. Failure is teaching you a lesson that hopefully you actually learn.
Yeah.
Because, like Jordan said, if you're going to do the blame game, 9 times out of 10, it's probably your own fault. Because if you're
If you're
blaming
the
other
common
people, it's probably
denominator in
you.
all the losses, then yeah, you need
You know?
one, you should have been looking at that from
Now,
before.
guys, make sure you leave your comments. Let us know what you thought. If we're full of it, let us know too. We like those comments. That way I can come back and talk bad about
Do
you.
you think kids should be getting participation trophies? Trophies.
A participation trophy. No, but whatever. Now, remember to like, subscribe, and follow us at This Is Not Working Inc. I always look at Jordan because I always said the wrong thing. Again, it's at This Is Not Working Inc. You got anything else?
No.
All right, guys, remember to keep this unfiltered, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.